here before I actually continue. Um, okay. And wait, one more thing. Uh, Excuse me. Okay. Welcome to the dojo. I'm gonna do this again. I fucked up, so I decided to restart. Um, oh yeah, so that's for the web build. In other words, the one that y'all actually get to play. I get to play the binary because I haven't figured out a way to actually distribute it. There's some challenges, but actually one thing I could do is actually distribute the some of these files so that you don't have to play it online. Then you could actually play it in your browser locally. Maybe. But here's the regular command. You gotta compile all these files, and we ain't done yet. We got a lot more that's coming. But it's relatively fast, as you can see. So run the game. /game. Uh-oh. So this is like a bug in something in load music. But interesting. So I've actually been looking for this debugging message because the bug does not consistently occur on every single run. If I were to run the game a second time, so before I do, I'm going to actually copy this because this can be useful information. And just to kind of examine it, like real brief, let's see. No, it's in lib draw, load music. Begin load music, right? It never hits in load music. So it's the random value. No, yeah, I got it now. Okay. So actually, that's kind of a critical bug fix. So this is a new version, 0.3, December 25th. Now I have to make clean, make the whole thing again. Okay. That should be sufficient. So first I'm going to push the new code. Next, I'm going to make the web build again, and we're going to go and get that back up on itch. Game shouldn't crash anymore. I forgot that Raylib's get random value is bounded in that it goes from N to M inclusive, meaning that the first number is like the beginning of the possible random value list, and then the second number is actually the end, as opposed to like the length. Usually you would infer that length minus 1 is the last value. So we copy those into our project RPG home folder. Then we run butler. That's actually a new update. I want to actually take a note. Version 0.0.4.3. Critical fix, loading game music, general update, All right, critical fix published. Excellent. I suppose I could load up the chats. What's happening, everybody? I hope you all are having a good day so far. All right. What's the next dealio? As I was saying earlier, it would be nice to get some templating up for the monsters, right? Like, let's take a look at how we create monsters in the first place. Or like how we instantiate them, rather. Creation is, a complicated topic. So saith the Lord. I read that in the Bible somewhere. Anyway, if we take a look at how I'm doing it here. So we actually create an orc as well as an orc weapon. The orc weapon, we're just hard coding it to an axe at the moment. The idea being that, NPCs can pick up items and equip them as well. And eventually we'll have the ability for NPCs and other entities related to be able to do rather complicated decision mechanisms where they can have just as many options as the player. Because at the moment, like a lot of this initial legwork that I'm doing involves testing out individual code pathways in order to determine that like a certain feature works as intended before I begin to aggregate these features together in a way that using certain like decision heuristics, right? Like as a very simple example of that, at the moment they choose to move randomly, right? So if the NPC's target is right next to the NPC, it will attack that location where its target's at. Otherwise, they're going to move randomly. And that's what I mean by heuristic here. It's like, what are a certain set of conditions that have to be true in order for the entity to make a decision to do a thing? And that can get kind of complicated attempting to handle all of that, right? Like, it's the kind of thing that you really need to grow it up from the ground up. And that's what I'm doing here. So over time, we're going to be able to add other entity actions like pick up and cast spell and equip and unequip and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, the ultimate idea being that for every set of unique conditions that would require a different decision, it's like in any arbitrary circumstance, it's like, why would you choose to move in one direction or another? Or why would you choose to heal yourself versus doing something else? Or, like, make a calculated decision to attack an enemy because its HP appears to be low, even though you might get taken out in the next hit yourself. And it might be a smarter idea to actually backstep and then heal yourself, or do some sort of ranged attack and try to like create some distance between you and the NPC. There's a lot of different ways you can approach that. I used to play D&D a lot as a kid, so a lot of this kind of like intuition thinking is like core and central to a number of different games that I played. So what I'm talking about with templating, right? Like, so when we actually create the NPC, this is really all that we're doing. And then actually from here, the more core, because this is a wrapper around create NPC. So check a couple conditions to make sure that tile is actually clear and able to be pushed, and or able to like place an entity onto it. Because you might like pick a location in a dungeon that's not a valid location to like actually place anything, such as like a void tile or a stone wall or something like that, right? So one thing that we can do is, or one thing that we do rather, first we generate a new entity ID. Then we set a bunch of different components. And this list is gonna grow. It's gonna be nasty, right? And notice that we're not setting HP here, because HP is one of the things that would be like something that should be. And actually, we might actually just start like adding HP here now that I think about it. But the whole idea here is that I'm actually setting HP at a level above. But I think now that I say it out loud, it makes a lot of sense to actually start doing some of that stuff here, because if we have knowledge of the race at this point, and at a certain point we're going to add in the level, and all entities will be effectively like started out like when they're first created at level 1. But let's say later in the game you're in a part of the dungeon that's like spawning level 5s. So how would that happen underneath the hood? So first we would actually generate the level 1 entity, and then we would level it up through whatever function of level up that we choose to implement, right? So there's a process there. So like I was saying, like, this could actually go in here, and then there's no real reason necessary to Actually, we don't even need this line of code, right? No, we actually do pass race name as just the name of the entity because I don't have like a random name generator yet. And the random name generator is going to have to be race based too because every race has cool sounding names. So we could actually just return create NPC at this point. And then we don't even need create NPC. I mean, we could just actually use that, honestly. This just makes it a little bit more convenient because it automatically generates a name through the race to string function. But we're to hop in lib logic, right? So instead of create NPC set stats, that would be, and this is me actually just like live refactoring and deciding to like throw away a file, basically. So we'd have to do this, and then we'd be like, work. And why is it yelling still? Oh, yeah. So we just had to include, why is it yelling still? No matching function call, fuck yourself. Oh, race comes before location in this version. Okay. And see, boom, we got that. So now we actually just do this. Just swap them out. This one would have to be there. I didn't delete that motherfucker. Okay. So now that we don't actually need NPC set stats, watch this. Oh, wait. All right, let's see what breaks. Oh, wait. We're oops. Let's see where it breaks. Okay, perfect. Lib logic.cpp line 12. Problem solved. Oh, whoops, the game window's not up again. There we go. Oh, you know why he's not dying? Because his HP is cranked to 0. Oh yeah, and we're no longer in begin mode. We're like actually in code mode now. So we're not setting HP yet. Now we want to set some HP. What if we? Well, actually, here. Okay, so here we have some hard decisions to make about how to template out NPC creation. We don't have a level yet. We have HP, but no level. That won't do. Struct level. In addition to that, how do we manage level? Well, with XP. What else do we have besides those, right? What other stat? Oh, we can't use int. Fuck. Might as well use the whole name. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, constitution, charisma. I wonder if it makes more sense for the templates down here to actually be like directly beneath each one. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, because we're not using these yet. But let's see. We just defined level and XP. So, like, what I mean by that is, and this might make it easier for me to quickly stub them out every time instead of having to do this kind of like reorganization process. Here's what we'll do. We'll take this whole little chunk right here. right beneath struct level. Oh yeah. Wait, what? Why are they yelling about this? Oh, because it's beneath. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, now that makes sense. And going forward, I can just like glob each one of these, and that way, doing like the next one, for instance. So the whole idea here is like if I do QM to start recording it. Well, fuck, I don't want to do that one actually. Um, Damn, did I just fuck up my Q or my M? I did. Shit. Okay, so QM is my like comment, right? At N is actually for like inserting pragma. Um, so we'll do G. Um, QA. Okay. So what we do here is go down one, go into insert mode, hit enter, escape, up, up. Oh, this isn't going to be consistent for it. Fuck. Never mind. You know what? I'd be done by now. Oh, actually, it might be consistent. UA. Down at do, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Visual. 1, 2, 3. Space. Yank. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Paste. Up. Word. Yank word. Beginning of line. Down, down. Over. Over. Paste. Delete to end of segment. Back to beginning of line. Down, down, down. Insert, enter, escape, Q. Let's see if that works. Shift at A. Sick. Shift at A. Oh, yeah. Oh, I flew through those. And we could even do it for these as well. At A. Oh, wait. No, the formatting's not right. There we go. At A. At A. At A. A. So I can actually get rid of these down here. And for the ones up here, if I move level all the way up, to like right here, then I should be able to do at A, at A, at A, A, A. Boom, look at that shit. Power of them, baby. Got a lot of shit you gotta do. Fucking macro that bitch. So now down here we should have some errors. So we're just gonna snipe these out. File appears to be okay still. So anytime we have a new component, we just snap one of these and then we just tweak it. Oh, but we gotta make sure the actual types. I just caught, yeah, like fucking these are not booleans. Are you crazy? That should be int. This should be int. This should be int. 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 Target is an entity ID. Light radius is an int. Vision distance is an int. Aggro is a boolean. Intelligence, dexterity, strength. HP, XP is an int. Equip shield. Int. Actually, int. Ocean. Item. Push bowls bool. Text alpha. Oops. a default 10 for all basic stats. Info about the game is in the thing over here, um, on the left hand side of your screen. You see up where it says game, just like to the left of where my mouse is at. You can play the game in its current state while it's being developed on itch.io at evildojo.itch.io/project-rpg. It only costs $1, and you get to play every version of the game as it's being developed, which I think is pretty cool. Like the fact that I can immediately push something and y'all instantaneously be able to do it. Like imagine being able to play a game while the developer is working on it on stream, have him push something like after fixing a bug fix live or some shit, which is what I'm doing, and immediately being able to like reload your game and like be able to start playing the fresh version and provide like real-time feedback. Imagine if games were made this way. Imagine if companies offered that level of transparency into like the insight into their process, and like all of this code is on GitHub, so you can actually look at the source code. I list my GitHub username on the left side over here to to the far left of where my mouse is at, and I'm about it. Like I've been doing. I look, y'all. I started with the Nintendo Entertainment System. All right. I don't know if y'all understand what that means or why that's a big deal, but I am very thankful that I was born in effectively one of the inceptions of the golden ages of gaming, because there have been many golden ages of gaming over time, and we're overdue for another one. And I'd like to be part of that process. I've been playing games since I was 3 years old, and I'm going to be 40 in like a month. And, it's been a long ride, and it's about time that I got my own shit rolling. Here we are. Let's keep it going. um, so, as an example of like how we would like augment the HP setting, for instance, right? Um, so imagine, if you will, that we like default a my max HP to 3. And then we can default a my HP to whatever my max HP happens to be. And that's already a little bit more intelligent than just shoving 3 into that slot, right? But let's take this a step further. So eventually we're going to be using race to like determine like starting like HP range, because as and maybe even other factors too. Like I haven't even integrated like class or like class declaration or anything like that. I'm not even sure I'm going to have class declaration. I think it's just going to be like neutral class, and then like your class turns out to be like whatever you end up like speccing towards, and it's not going to be something that you necessarily like decide on, which is actually kind of unlike a lot of the older RPGs that I'm kind of like targeting in a lot of ways, right? Like historically speaking, like especially back in the old days, you would select race as well as class whenever you're creating your character. In other words, you would have like stuff like fighter, you have like thief, you would have like cleric, you have like those are like the core 4 from like the OG D&D days. But then eventually they added some cool stuff in 3.0 like Monk and Sorcerer and Berserker or Barbarian. I think it was Barbarian actually. And adding a lot of that kind of mechanic, like you can kind of go off the chain in a lot of ways. So I want it to be free form enough that you don't like get pipelined down like a particular spec pathway just because of like the class that you select or something like that. And class change is also cumbersome. It introduces a lot of friction into the game. It's kind of a unique feature in the games that feature it, but I think in my case, I'm going to be like, it's going to end up more like Dark Souls in this way. It's going to be like more like Elden Ring, where you can build your character out based off the point allocation as you level up. And that's why, like in the beginning, like you press space to randomly generate your stats. Now, when you swap races, the hit die should change as well. So, like, normally you get, like, you may or may not get racial bonus to Constitution, right? Like, if you're an orc, then you're gonna get like a bonus to strength, but you get a minus to like charisma and intelligence if you play it. And so like the stat modifications can be different for every entity, right? So we have to decide on some of those things, and a lot of those are going to be race-based, and I think that's a better thing than having to deal with like classes at the same time. Yeah, that. Reorganize component traits. Begin setting stats. So as another example of this, so imagine my max HP, right? And then my HP equals 3, and then as an example of like a race-based like modifier, and really the race-based modifier should actually be based off of how the initial starting stats are generated, right? And actually what we want to do is get random value from 3 to 18. And even then, what we should actually do for each one of these Let's try that again. Yeah, that's what we want. Boom, done. Ship it. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing okay. All right, here's where things are at the moment for selecting racial modifiers, right? Um, so imagine, if you will, actually, if RT, then we have no modifiers actually. Being a human is vanilla. Else if race equals elf, dwarf, halfling, orc. And actually, you know what? This would actually be like a lot better as a switch statement. And this would also be a great case for other race cases below. Now down here, plus, and actually, you know what? The strength modifier, like, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So the bonus to your strength and all of that stuff, that's baked in based on race. So as an example case of this, so I actually really don't need to handle a human like that. Like if we were being like super verbose, we could just paste all of them like that every time. But as an example for elf, we get +2 to dexterity. And I think -2 to constitution. And actually just do it like that. Dwarf gets +2 to constitution. What are the modifiers for dwarf? Can anyone tell me? Do you know off the top? D&D 3.0 dwarf. I thought they had racial modifiers. Yeah, -2 charisma. Okay. So charisma -2. Um, Orc gets a +2 to strength, -2 to charisma, and I believe a -2 to intelligence. I don't necessarily have to handle every dude yet. And there's probably a better way to do this. I probably should have like a lookup table. Oh wait, no, it's oh wait, yeah. We're gonna fuck. How do we refer to each stat? Ooh. I wonder if I can do this. Maybe not. What happens with kind? Oops. Which are case ways one. And really for human, um, just return zero like that. Case elf. Um, which stat? Did I say elves get -2? No, they get -2 to Constitution. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, constitution, charisma. All right, so dwarves, strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, constitution, charisma. Actually, I think they get the plus to, yeah, not dexterity. Okay, so there's our get racial modifiers, right? The way we would use it would be RT and then 0. One, two, three, 4, 5. Just like that. And if something's not defined, we just return 0 for right now. And they might also get some other bonuses and whatnot as well. But calculating HP depends upon hit die. Hit die is something that's also racial. So a die roll could be a complex object containing 3 elements. The number of times you roll the dice, the number of sides of the dice, and then a modifier to the roll. So if we were to like find some basic Vec 3 hit die, set it equal to 1d6 0. As an example, right? So we could actually change these values depending upon like what the race of the entity is. So for instance, if RT equals race human, hit die dot Y equals 6. And actually, I think human will start with 8. With an elf, we'll do 6. If it's a dwarf, we'll do 10. If it's a halfling, 4. Goblin, 4. Orc, maybe we'll do 8 like humans. I know there's a handful of other races I have to implement. Goblin, halfling, dwarf, elf, human, orc, bats. Green slime for goblin should have more than green slime. Let's see. This is another case where a case statement would make a lot of sense. QA. Oh, whoops. QA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was easy enough. All right, it's better than nothing for right now. So what'll happen is we set this hit die, and then my max HP is going to be get. Right now we're assuming that the hit die is always going to be 1. Get random value from 1 to hit die of Y. But then we have a racial modifier to consider now, right? So up here we have well, actually no, there's racial bonus, right? Or there's bonus for or like stat bonus. Um So as an example, if v exactly equal to 10 or v exactly equal to 11, return 0. Eight, 9, 6. Why are the kids about this 6, 7 business? Talk to me. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at the moment, no stats can go above 18, but that's okay because eventually we'll handle this, as well as the negative cases. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. No, that's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Otherwise, return 0 by default. We get the stat bonus for Constitution. Now, the player's HP is still being hard set. However, this should offer some variety or randomness to our instantiated orcs. We're going to be pretty beefy, potentially. They're going to have 1 to 8 HP. So, assuming everything works, we should do a fresh build. Check it out. Okay, so he died in less than 5 hits, so he randomed lower HP. There we go. Wow, they took a lot of hits to take down. But that's because every hit is only doing 1 HP damage. So one of the next big things would be to implement kind of like the like attach the actual damage range to each weapon. Random HP setting. Oh wait, you know what? This would actually warrant a version upgrade. Okay, so now we'll make the web version. Probably going to take a little bit of a break here, take my baby out, get some touch some grass. Oh, getting ready for Thanksgiving. I still gotta. I'm a bit late getting supplies. I'll be happy if I just have some turkey and man, I wish I had some gravy to go with it. Um, I've got stuff to put on some turkey, and I've got broccoli. So if I get potatoes, I can do broccoli mashed potatoes or some shit like that. That'd be pretty good. Okay, so now that that's created, we can actually copy those files to our Project RPG folder, and I can run Butler again. And the official new version is up. So we updated uh, HP setting. So if we wanted to attach like random damage to each one of those weapons, let's say we create a new thing called damage. So there's our damage type, right? What else? Oh yeah, so when we go to create a weapon, this is kind of a temporary name setting stuff. Depending upon its type, do I need a Vec 2 as well? Or no, this would make sense because of the modifier. So you could actually have a modifier on it. Um, An axe will do a D8, dagger will do a D4, and sword will do a D6. Well, there's our damage attached to the weapons. And we can actually update the display. Oh, there we are. In libdraw inventory menu. Um, in the right box, we can draw the item detail. So we're drawing the name, right? Um, Back3 damage equals GCG dot get damage for selection ID dot value or -1, -1, -1. Why doesn't it like that? What do you mean no matching call to value or shut the fuck up? There we are. Okay. Now we're gonna have to modify the this value right here. +10. Maybe +30. Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. I meant to do this one. It's not bad. The text is kind of big. That looks really clean. Damn. That looks clean as fuck. It would be cool to have some like description text. Right? Something doesn't have to have a description. Um, so as an example of just adding that in here. Actually, you don't even need all of that. You just do mydesk.cstring. No description. No description. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I know why. I never did it down here. Whoops-a-doodle. There we go. Yeah, of course, the shield has no description because I haven't pulled it out yet. And actually, we only want to display damage if it's a weapon. Oh, so this should actually handle that situation. Um, okay. So now the damage should only show when we're highlighting weapons. That way we can kind of customize the display based off the item type. basic buckler. Damage, a small sharp dagger. Axe, damage, normally used to chop wood. The goats. Let's kill some bad guys. That was an easy one. All right. Good workflow. I can immediately see something to fix. So in the HUD display, we actually don't want to display next level XP. That's going to be a surprise. Oh, whoops. My XP. Oh, it's pretty clean with the transparency. Now, of course, the XP is not going to update, right, until we actually deal with a entity attack. XP went up. All right, not a bad start. Not a bad start. But for all the work that we've done implementing damage on weapons, we actually haven't handled it in tri-entity attack. So damage here, instead of it just being 1, DMG range, that might break something, but we're gonna run with it. That's an ugly line. um, but instead of damage being 1, damage would instead be, at the minimum, a random value between damage range of X, damage range of Y. All the other calculations should follow through. One shot. Nice. And they did some damage to me too. Like, fuck. Took me down to 82 in a few hits. It's pretty good though. I'm pretty happy where this is at right now. So before we do anything else, We got to commit all this code. Or we added damage and description. Damage description. I just realized that we did not really closely examine the unequipped case. So the unequipped case, we should really do a basic range from like 1 to 4. And that's really no different from the dagger, honestly, right? Maybe instead of 1 to 4, we'll do like 1 to 2. Oh, wait, and oh. All right, code is pushed to GitHub. Now to make the web build. And then I think it's time for break, for real, for real. I gotta get ready for a assembly language student tonight. That's gonna be fun. Copy, Butler. Boom, push, ship it. Game is up and running. If you've bought the game, you're able to play the new version right now. All you should have to do is probably refresh your browser. You might have to, I don't know if you're gonna have to empty out cookies. It automatically updates on my end whenever I load it. So like, if I were to go to Evil Dojo, Project RPG. Four 4.5 general update. Enemy spawn with random HP. Weapons vary in damage. Experience goes up when enemy is killed. I don't have the attached description. Yeah, it's a good update. That's a good update. Ship it. All right. Got a fresh update. We're at version 0045. So like 1.0, sorry, 1.0 representing like commercial final like major release, right? Like when the game's pretty much done. 01 is going to be effectively beta, right? Like it's I would call it alpha right now. Getting to 01 would represent that I've got a fully like be able to navigate to like the end of the game and actually try to beat the game, which there's not anywhere near that much yet, which is why we're only on 004. So every so if you have like major number, minor number, and then like minor number, and then minor number, whenever I do updates, the bottom minor number gets updated. And eventually, whenever it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, this feels really good, this represents a major update, the second minor number would update. So like if we wanted to get to 005, there's going to be a lot of changes and upgrades and additions that I'm going to be making. But Wizard needs food badly. Wizard needs to start preparing for Thanksgiving. As far as I know, it's probably just going to be me and my two animals, which you can see the cat partially here on the desk, and my baby girl passed out. About to wake her ass up though. Time to go do some business. If she waits too long, she can't hold it in, and we have to deal with accidents, every so often. It is what it is. She's an old girl, has trouble holding her business. I'm very impressed with her that she's gone this entire time. Normally, she's a bit more going, but because she can't really smell anything, she's rather undisturbed. But I also know her frequency, because I've been with this girl her whole life pretty much. And as she's gotten older, it's, become a thing that she needs help getting out to the grass where she does her business. She's blind, unfortunately. And while she's able to walk around, she can't like make it from here all the way out to the grass before something happens. And it's become a routine for me to carry her from here out into out to do the business. Swear to God, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love this girl to death, though. She's been the most perfect baby angel her whole life. And, my grandma's last wishes were for me to take care of her. And I hope that I am fulfilling that desire. Shout outs to Grandma, because I wouldn't be here without you. I love you. And I'm going to try and make sure that these babies get some turkey. So this baby is going to bid you all good day. It's been a pleasure as usual. I hope you like the new setup. That way you can actually like see my typing style and all that stuff. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for watching today. And I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to take off, maybe do another stream tomorrow But first, I'm going to make sure that my food situation is lined up. So, until next time, everyone, take it easy.